Okay, so a very good morning to all of you once again. I'm very happy to see you all here. Um, we are already 20 plus people joined the session. I am expecting more people to join when we are going through the introduction. There are some people who have joined with the name of device, right? I will suggest please rename yourself so that I can know who is speaking and who I am talking to. That will be helpful for everyone in the batch. And for today, it is okay. We will not be removing anyone from the session, but from third class or fourth class onwards, when we start distributing the content of the course, if you are not joining with your original name, mm, then we will be removing people from the session. Okay, so I'll suggest please name yourself carefully. Divya is not rejoining. Please rejoin. Okay, so we will go for a round of introduction now. Why this introduction is important? Because the course content which I will be delivering is same for all the batch, right? But the kind of delivery, the kind of project, and the kind of topics which I will be explaining to you with the real life example, that varies batch to batch. So it is very important for me to understand that what kind of people are in this batch and to conclude like what kind of delivery need to be done for this particular batch. Okay, so we will be talking about six things in the introduction. First of all, your name and your education, what designation you are currently working on, or if you are a fresher, or if you are looking for a job change. So your working profile in short. And the third thing will be why Python, why you are learning Python, right? So the third and fourth thing is associated, why you're learning Python and what you are trying to achieve after it. Okay, so these things actually help me to understand like the similar kind of people are in this batch, or there are very different kind of people in this batch, and it will help me to decide what kind of delivery mechanism I will choose to deliver the projects, what kind of interview questions I have to share, right? Because it is a very vast topic. If we go to discuss everything, it will take more time. So it is very good to understand that what kind of people are here in this group, right? And we will target that only. If I see that there are more freshers in the group which are looking for a job change, right, we will target more on the interview questions. If I see there are more people who are looking for learning Python for their internal project, we will target projects like that. So this introduction is very important, and the first class today and tomorrow's class also, like we will be introducing each other, the tools which we will be using for our learning and development, right? And the LMS system. So the first 2 days will be like it will be little chilled out. You have to not concentrate much, right? But it is good to know people. So from the third class, when I start delivering the content, right? From then onwards, you will not get time to introduce yourself. You will not get time to get used to the tools and chat window or the audio systems is working fine or not, because then a very fast-paced delivery will start, right? So I'll say utilize these two days to get used to the system and tool. So name, education, your current designation, or if you're a fresher. Then third thing is why Python and what is after Python. And the sixth thing, which is very important, the language. You want me to deliver the complete course in English, or you want me to deliver the complete course in Hindi. So that goes like it. If there will be even a single person who is maybe from South India, or maybe who is outside India, right? And he want me to deliver the complete course in English, then we have to follow that. And if everyone is very open and comfortable with Hindi, then we will deliver the course in Hindi also, right? So that is also very important, because from last so many batches, my experience says that whenever someone from South India or someone from outside India joining, right? It become difficult for them to understand when I'm explaining something, some scenario in Hindi, right? So we have to take care of that scenario also. So this six information you have to share with me. Uh, I have a list of name in front of me of the people who have joined. So I'll take your name. If you're able to unmute yourself and speak, it's fine. If you are not able to do that, you can paste on the chat window. Okay. So the first one is Anand.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Uh, my name is Anand Devdare. I completed an MBA and I got 8 years experience in customer service. Currently, I'm working in Karagiri as a senior executive, and I joined Python because I'm looking a growth. Wanna change my career,
Okay.
looking opportunities, and for the growth, I joined this course Python.
Okay. Okay. And Anand, you are comfortable with English and Hindi both, right?
Yes, I'm comfortable.
Okay. And Anand, have you joined Ethan's only for Python or data science also?
No, I data science. The complete course name is data science.
Oh, so you have joined for the complete course.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you, Anand. Yeah, Dipti.
Yeah, good morning everyone. Myself Dipti. I have completed my engineering in 2020 and I'm a fresher. And I'm learning Python for data science and I'm comfortable with both the languages, Hindi as well as English.
Okay. So Dipti, you have joined Ethan's for both Python and data science?
Yeah, yes, sir, for both.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Dipti. Gaurav.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Gaurav. I have 8 years of experience in geoinformation science and Earth observation. I am working with IBI Group currently
Mhm.
and also as a GIS expert. And learning Python would help me grow in my career because, like GIS and like I've already been working in data, geospatial data and stuff. So it
Mhm.
would help me broaden my career scope
Okay.
and also I'll be looking forward for the job opportunities in GIS and data science after learning this course.
Okay. So Gaurav, have you
Yes,
joined Ethan's for both Python and data science?
yes, both.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Gaurav.
thank you.
So there is a name, I'm not sure if I'm taking it right. Nandukar Priya.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yeah. Hi.
My name is Priyanka. I completed my computer engineering and I'm currently doing business analytics MBA in second year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you're comfortable with both English and Hindi language?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you joined here for both Python and data science course or only Python?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Data science and both.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you, Priyanka. Anukriti? Okay, so Anukriti has given her introduction over the chat window. So mm, it will be easy for everyone to go through it. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Anukriti. And let's go to next. Govind.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Govind.
Yeah, my name is Govind Kare, and I have completed my Bachelor of Engineering in Instrumentation, and I have graduated in year 2014. Ever since working in a instrumentation field, but I wanted to change my field and enter into an IT and data science. So hence, fourth, I'm looking forward to learn Python,
Okay.
and I'm comfortable with English and Hindi both.
Okay. Sure, Govind. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Harshit? Harshita, sorry.
Hello, good morning. Am I audible now?
Yeah, Harshita. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have completed my graduation in computer science engineering in 2020 itself. So I'm a fresher, and the reason for doing Python course was to get to know about this uh,
Mm-hmm.
language which is in demand in the
Okay.
market
Yeah.
for the interview process. And I'm comfortable in English since it's a programming language, so English would do better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. And have you joined here for Python or data science both?
Python only.
Python only. Fine.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Manisha?
Hi, Manpreet and everyone. My name is Manisha Sabre, and I'm working with TCS since 11 years. I have also worked with IBM. I have been doing coding in ABAP, so I am. My designation is a consultant in my organization, and I'm learning Python because I'm going to I'm applying for a student visa for a postgraduate program in AI,
Mm-hmm.
and I have completed my masters in computer science. AI was one of the subject,
Okay.
and I had always a aim of learning after
Mm-hmm.
my in a time of my life that I will do something more education, get
Mm-hmm.
more education with respect to AI.
Okay.
And my aim is to go into research and development because I think AI can help our people, it can be a help to evolve in some
Mm-hmm.
way to make our life better and easy, like farmers or in medical science. There are so many things happening in AI. So I want to do for that thing. My aim is to go into research and development, and I think Python is used
Okay.
in AI also and data
Mm-hmm.
science also, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I'm comfortable with both the languages, and I have applied for Python, data science, and AI. My admission for the postgraduate course is almost done.
Okay.
So because of the border closures, I cannot go right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
have applied for the second semester in June, July.
Mm-hmm.
My aim for learning beforehand Python and data science is to just be ready, and
Mm-hmm.
because it is international education, so I should
Mm-hmm.
have a prior knowledge of Python and data science
Okay.
before, so it can help me. That is the aim actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good to know that, Manisha. And which country you're traveling?
Australia.
Australia. Okay. Good to know that, Manisha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Piyush?
Hello everyone. This is Piyush Mehta this side. Uh, I completed my engineering with the stream electronic communication, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm working with the Veritas right now as a system engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm completely new in the any language, and I opted for the Python to
Okay.
learn it and grow in my career.
Okay.
I'm compatible with the English and Hindi both.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Piyush. Thank you. So Veritas, you are in Baner office?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. Thank you, Piyush. Priya PV?
Um, Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Priya.
I'm Priya. I completed my engineering in 2014 in electronics and communication. Still now, I'm a fresher, and I want to start a career in IT field.
Mhm.
I think Python is maybe an easy way to enter into an IT field.
Okay.
That's why I chose Python.
Hmm.
And so I'm from Kerala, so it will be better if you're taking all the classes in English.
Okay, sure, sure, Priya. Yep. Thank you very
Okay,
much. And
thank you.
have you joined for Python and data science both, or only for Python?
For the full course, sir.
For the full course, including AI?
No, sir, no.
No. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thank you, Priya.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I'm not sure if I'm taking that name correct or not, but before that also, I will pause here for the introduction. So, for many people, it will be a surprise, like why we are going through introduction of everyone. I will suggest that. See, definitely in the chat, WhatsApp chat, the admin team has mentioned that this group is only for technical discussions. But what I believe personally, like once you are in this course, right? So you all are batchmate, and you all are able to help each other in this group, right? So I see that there are multiple experienced people also, there are multiple fresher people also. So it is a good platform for all of you, right, to be connected to each other. Why? Because people are here who are looking for job change also. So it will be good for you to know that which person is in which company, which person is working there, if you are looking for a job change, and then you need a reference or something like that. So it is more of a community connect, I will say, right? So know each other's name, know each other, what they are doing, where they can help you, right, or you can help them. So that will be helpful for everyone, and that is why we are going for the complete introduction, right? um, and also, I mean, definitely it is helping me with all the information, because I see that there are some experienced people, there are people who have joined the complete course of data science and AI also. So that will help me to design like how I want to deliver this course, right? It is not only like if I deliver it only for Python, then the people who have joined for data science also, they will struggle in the next phase of the batches, right? So that is helping me to understand like what kind of people are here. And if you are feeling little bored about the introduction going on with other people, I will suggest, do not get bored, because definitely at the end of the day, when we'll be doing projects and other thing, it will help you guys to talk with each other. So I say this to every batch, but I have not seen any batch get utilizing WhatsApp group or the LMS system which we'll be creating to chat with each other, right? Or to share the job openings with their companies and all. I have not seen people doing that. So I will motivate you to do that, because once this group is handed over to me, now there will be no one asking you that why you are posting such things, or why you guys are chatting over the WhatsApp group and all, right? That will not be happening. So feel free, use the platforms to the fullest possibility. Okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead with the introduction. Sadicha, I'm not sure if I'm saying it wrong, correct or not.
Yeah, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Adicha Padmar, and I have completed my Bachelor of Engineering IT
Mhm.
in 2020. Um, yeah, and
And you're learning Python for a job hunt?
yeah,
Okay. And you're comfortable with English and Hindi both, or?
yeah, sir.
Okay. Now, as Priya is already mentioned, like she want everything to be in English. I think this batch will be going completely in English. So if there is someone who is not comfortable with that, then only I think I will ask him. But otherwise, it's fine. So thanks, Anisha. We'll go to next person, Subham.
Hi and good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Subham.
Yeah, I'm Shubham Chandak, and I have been passed out in 2020 itself into electronics engineering.
Mhm.
Currently, I'm a fresher, and why Python? Because Python I'm looking for good career opportunities in my career.
Mm-hmm.
I have not learned means I have been little bit fearful about any language because I'm into electronics one, but I have learned
Mm-hmm.
little bit of Python into that,
Mm-hmm.
but need more inform means in brief about Python. So looking that, and that's my aim for getting job into Python.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable in both the languages, and
Okay.
I have joined only Python over here.
Okay. So Shubham, you might have learned embedded C or some language for your microprocessor and microcontroller, right? Some language you might have
Yeah,
used
but
for.
not means for.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have not used that much, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
little bit I know.
Okay. And you have seen people working with OpenCV also around you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Thank you, Shubham. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. There are two Sneha actually. I'm not sure if both are same, but there is Sneha Gurav or a. So we'll start with Sneha Gurav. Okay, I'm not getting any response from that. There is someone who joined with only name is Neha.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, Neha, go ahead.
Hello. My name is Sneha Guru and I completed my engineering in electronics and telecommunication. I was doing the job in non-technical fields, and but I now want to do my career in software. That's why I'm joining the Python.
Okay. Okay. And Sneha, you have joined only for Python and both data science and Python.
Yes, it's only for Python,
Okay, sure.
and I'm comfortable with both English and Hindi.
Sure, Sneha. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have seen in between Shweta was also unmuted. Yeah, Shweta, go ahead. You.
Okay. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Shweta.
Yeah, I am Sweta. I completed graduation in 2005. I
Mm-hmm.
am working as a zonal secretary. In my current job, I am working in only advanced Excel.
Okay.
These course help me to take advanced level and
Mm-hmm.
job change.
Mm-hmm.
I am comfortable in both language.
Okay. Yeah.
I joined Python with data science.
Python with data
Yeah.
science. Okay, sure. Thank you, Shweta. So there is one more Sneha with only the first name is Sneha. So you there? Okay, no problem. There's Snehal. Yeah, Divya, you are able to hear me now. Yeah, good to know that. I can also see the mic symbol in front of you now. So I think now you will be able to speak also. So do you want to go with the introduction? I think you have not heard other people's introduction also. So Divya, what we are doing here, you have to tell your name, the complete name, and then what is your education, what you are doing currently. You are a fresher, you're working somewhere, and then why you are learning Python, what you will be doing next after learning Python, right? And yeah, that's all. That's pretty much you have to say, tell to all of us. Go ahead, Divya.
Hello, am I able to hear?
Yeah, Divya, I can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Divya Amritkar. I'm from Aurangabad. I've completed my BE in IT in 2016. I was working as an IT developer in COBOL language AS400 technology for 2 years. After that, I got married, and right now I'm not working for 2 years. After that, for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
from 18 to 20. Yeah. Now I want to join Python a new technology I want to learn, a new
Mm-hmm.
language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm interested in coding, that's why.
Mm-hmm. And you will be looking for a job after this, right?
Yes, yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you joined for both data science and Python, or only for Python?
Only Python.
Only Python. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know that, Divya. Thank you very much, Divya. Let's go ahead with another. So, Sneha, you have sent a message over the chat. If you're not able to speak, that's fine. You can post your introduction over the chat as Anupriti has done. So we'll go with the other person. I think only two people are left now. Snehal, you there? You can hear us? Okay, fine. So we are not getting any input from Snehal. Sunil, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunil, go ahead.
Uh, Good morning, sir, and everybody. So I am Sunil Kompalwar. Currently, I'm working with Principal Global Services as lead analyst. I have over 10 years of experience into MIS. Uh, the reason for learning Python is currently we are working on SAS, and soon or later we will be moving to Python. So that is why I am learning for Python, and I have joined for both the classes, that is Python plus data science,
Mhm.
exclusive by Manpit sir only.
Okay. So you got any reference from someone, Sunil? Or
Yeah, I have got questions from my friends that
Mhm.
you are very good at data science and Python.
Okay, thank you, Sunil, for mentioning that. And Sunil, you are in Pune. You said you are in principal software, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
In
banking
Pune,
firm in Pune, right?
I live in Loigaon and my office is in Magarpeta.
Okay, okay. Yeah, good to know, Sunil. Okay, anyone?
Hey Manpreet, hi, this is Bhupesh. Sorry, I joined in late.
Yeah, hi,
Uh,
Bhupesh.
Hello. So just a quick one. I work with Accenture. We are into RPA world,
Mm-hmm.
and now we are heading into more of hyper automation or RPA plus plus, which is
Mm-hmm.
where we would get into the ML bit.
Mm-hmm.
And thereby I'm keen to learn Python to
Mm-hmm.
start off with. So it's been long that I've done programming. I'm more of a project manager or a program manager now with 15 years of experience approximately.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, I was keen to learn this new language. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Okay.
and yeah.
Yeah, sure, Bhupesh. Thank you very much. And essentially, you are working in Pune? Sorry, I missed that.
Accenture, yes, Accenture Pune, Hinjawadi.
Hinjawadi. You mean
Yes.
in Blue Ridge office, right?
Blue Ridge office, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mukesh. So
Thank
I
you.
think we are done with everyone. If anyone is left out, please let us know. I think Sneha and Snehal, these two people are yet to go through the introductions. So Anukriti, as he has mentioned over the chat, so I'll just very quickly go from it for everyone. Yeah, so she has done her bachelor's in electronics and communication, currently not working, and I'm looking for a job opportunity. She has 5 years of experience in IT, and she has joined the course for upskilling. Okay, she has worked with Capgemini, where the client was HSBC, and she is also planning to go toward data science. So Python will be helping her in that, and she has already familiar with the data science concepts and mm, learning Python too. Okay, so to merge both the things and work together on that. And she is comfortable with both the languages. Fine. So if anyone else want to paste your introduction, you can go ahead. Or if you want to unmute yourself, you can unmute anytime and go ahead with the introduction. Fine. So that is all about introduction. So I will introduce myself also. I have worked with Capgemini, Volkswagen, Nice Interactive Solutions, Juniper Network in India and Germany both. So I have multiple project experiences where I have worked. I started my career with C, C++, and then gradually I moved on to Java, and then to Python, and then to Python, ML, and data science. So my current role is using Python, data science, and ML all in the network area. And why I started teaching, I had passed 6 years of teaching before entering IT industry. And when I started working here, before started teaching with Ethans, when I was presenting something over the organization, or if I was presenting something to my colleagues, I had a very good feedback that things are very assertive, and they understand things from the very basic whenever I'm teaching them something or presenting something. So I thought of utilizing this knowledge of mine, or the attribute of mine, to teach other people also with the technology we are working in the industry. So that's why I got associated with Ethans. Now I have not. So in my initial days, I used to count how many batches I am taking and all, but now it is a very long term with them. So I stopped counting now. So yes, but there are multiple batches we have delivered for Python, data science, and machine learning. And people who have joined for data science and Python. And so this particular course for the next 1.5 or 2 months. So I'm targeting 1.5 months for you guys, right? And so what I am targeting is actually 25 to 26 classes where we complete the basic of Python and advanced Python both. So people who really want to go to the curriculum, right? If you are very interested to see each and every topic what we will be covering, and if you have not joined my demo session, right, I will suggest get in touch with Nikhat, the admin people who have added you in WhatsApp group and admission process. They will be sharing the curriculum with you, right? And you can go through each and every topic what we will be covering in this course. So people who have joined for Python and data science both, you will be associated with me for longer term. People who have joined only for Python, you will be associated for the shorter term where we will be completing Python. But do not get worried. When I complete the Python course also, um, and the end of it, we will be talking about pandas, NumPy, and the things which is required for data science. So I will not be leaving the Python guys also without a touch of data science. It is not like that. You will be getting a very small touch of data science course also, but not complete of it. So how the course is designed actually here, um, let me let me share my whiteboard once. Let me know if you guys can see the whiteboard. If anyone can confirm, that will be enough for me.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yep, and there are other people who have given their introduction over the chat. Just give me a few minutes. I will be reading that for everyone. So the course completely is actually divided into three parts here at Ethans, right? The first part is Python with a very basic knowledge of data science, and then plus there is another course which talks about machine learning plus data science, where we first discuss about data science and then machine learning, and then the third course which talks about AI, right? So people, I have heard that there are, I think, only one um, person who is traveling abroad has joined for the complete course. The most of the people has joined for these two courses, and there are many people who have joined only for Python, right? So this course, next 1.5 month or 25 or 26 classes, we will be targeting only Python. Now when I say only Python, it is not only basic Python. It is actually again divided into two parts, where we talk about fundamentals first, okay, and then we talk about advanced Python. Okay, so fundamentals, it means not only Python fundamentals, because it's a programming language, right? So we talk about a programming language fundamentals. Plus, we talk about object-oriented programming, and then we talk about Python also. So there are people actually who have experience in programming languages already, right? So for you, the initial days will be little brush up of the programming language concepts plus object-oriented concepts, right? Actually, Python and object-oriented programming comes on like 15th or 16th class, But I take this theory on the very first or second class itself. Why? Because there are other people who are fresher. There are people who are not from the IT background. So what happens whenever I say that I am working with an object, or if I say I am working with a class, or I say I am working with an instance, right? What happened? They do not understand these terms. They do not understand this language at all. They do not understand what I am trying to say when I say object or class or instance, right? So for them, to make them comfortable with my nomenclature or the words which I will be using while teaching them, right? So I teach the theoretical object-oriented programming, not associated with Python, associated with computer science. A very quick session, like 30-minute or 40-minute session on it. It will help fresher for an interview also, right? So because this group has freshers also, this group has people who are working with automation, this group has people who are working in management. So I will be teaching in all the ways. Okay. Now, the people who are from automation and will be going for hyper automation, right? What happens? People who are in automation, they do a very basic mistake in their day-to-day activity, right? So they write a single .py file scripts. This is a very common thing which any automation engineer will be doing out there. They write a Python script, a simple single file Python script. I don't want everyone to do that. What I want them to club that with object-oriented programming. Okay, so that's why the people who are already working with programming language and scripting, for them also, these basics of object-oriented programming will be helpful, because now after learning this course, you should not only target that you are writing only the py files. You should write the py packages. You should write the py, deliverables, rather than writing only a single script. So that kind of basic knowledge will be given in the starting days, where the fundamentals start with really talking about who created Python, why Python got created, what is interpreter, what is compiler, if Python is a interpreted language or compiled language, right? All those things will be discussed in the fundamentals, and then many more things need to be discussed there. And then once that is done, we come to advanced Python, right, where we connect through API, where we connect to DB, right, where we connect to different frameworks. Okay, so that is where we talk about like file scrapping, reading from file handling, all those things will be happening there. File plus operating system plus system modules, all those things will be in the advanced Python. So people who have joined only for Python, these things will be covered for you. And then I will not be discussing the course which is in DS and ML, because definitely when we start with data science and machine learning, again, this kind of introduction session will happen there, because there will be other people also who will be jumping in that session, right? Who might have done Python already from our institute. So yeah, that's pretty much about the course which we will be working on. Definitely, it is not the complete list of the titles which we will be covering. I will suggest get in touch with admin. They will be sharing the complete curriculum with you, because they keep why I am not sharing with you. I have curriculum, but I have three different versions of curriculum, because at Ethans we have team for there are different team for everything, right? So there is a team which take care of all the materials and printables and other things. So they keep changing the logos or backgrounds or the curriculum design and all. So I don't want to share the old one with you, right? So that's why I'm saying that get in touch with them, so that you get the latest one rather than I may be having a old one, right? Yeah. So Gaurav is raising hand. Yeah, Gaurav, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Manpreet. So actually, I wanted to ask you regarding this application development. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, will this be covered in this Python course? Because actually, what happens in our field is that I'm
Mm-hmm.
working with GI. So I'm currently working as an analyst.
Mm-hmm.
But the job profiles and the requirements,
Mm-hmm.
they ask for a developer,
Yes.
so which requires Python and few other language, HTML and CSM and all,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
CSS. So like is Python capable, like I'm not sure if only Python is capable of
Mhm.
application development, or I do need to learn anything else.
Yeah.
and
So
and
I got your question about the application development. So let me
right.
let me answer that first. Maybe that will answer many things for you. Okay. So see, when we talk about application development, a single app, right? It actually consists of multiple things. Okay. So let me write it down one by one. So first of all, for any application development, because of the latest technologies, you will not be writing everything from scratch. You will be using a framework for connectivity, right? So a framework is required. When I say framework, a framework like Django, right, or Flask for API development, and many more. There are like thousand different kind of frameworks available in the market, right? And then definitely that framework is only getting used for connectivity. Now, what is connectivity? You will be connecting the UI or user interface, which the end customer will be using, right? For this user interface, you will be using JavaScript. JavaScript also you may be using Angular JS or the latest version of UI development. You will be using HTML. You will be using CSS. You will be using request and other means connectivity tools, right? And then you will be having a database to store the data. You will be having APIs to connect your backend logic to database or to give your functionality to outside world. You will be having your backend development also. So backend is actually where you will be writing your business logic, right? So with Python, what and all will be covered, I'll tell you here, right? So this complete course is divided into again multiple parts. So this business logic writing, it is completely covered. This is 100% covered here. So the whatever business logic you write, that will be completely in Python, right? This is after this course, you will be very comfortable with the backend. So in industry, if someone is knowing all of this, that is they are called as full stack developer, right? If an engineer who is knowing all these things together, they are called as full stack developer. People who are only working with Python, they are called as backend developers. People who are expert in DB, they are called database engineers, right? People who are expert in API, they are called as API engineers. People who are expert in UI, they are called as front-end developer or UX and UI developer, right? So in this particular course, this backend will be covered 100%. DB will be covered in a way like Python, how Python use DB. Okay, so it will not be covering the SQL. So we will be writing few SQL, okay, like to create the database, to fetch the data from database, connect to the database, write and delete data from the database. But after this course, you will not be becoming expert in SQL. You will be becoming expertise in Python plus database, how the connectivity work, all those things we will be learning. But I will not be teaching you SQL and basics of SQL. So that is not part of our course. Okay, API, we will be working with Python plus API connectivity. Means a API is already hosted. How to utilize that in Python, right? How to get read data from API with Python, right? That will be covered. Now, if you talk about, there are multiple technologies in which APIs got created, like SOAP, REST, right? These things will not be covered in the course. You will not be becoming expert in SOAP and REST APIs. You will be working on Python plus API where API is already hosted. Okay. Now, this JavaScript, HTML, CSS, here this is 0%. We will not be talking about any of this technology. Okay, because we are focusing more majorly on Python. Python has nothing to do with the front end development. If you ask me Python is capable of doing that or not, answer is both yes and no. Python is not a front-end language. So definitely it will not be able to write something which can be displayed or hosted on a website or a screen, right? But yes, with the connectivity of Python, you can, with the framework, where the framework will be the translator, where it helps you to connect with the front end and back end, right? If you read about Django, it talks about connectivity between the front end and back end. So front end technologies we will not be teaching in this batch. This is my answer when you ask about app development, right? This is what we are covering and this is what we are not covering.
Okay, thank you. So, like in this DB,
Mhm.
you said that the SQL will not be taught in the Python course, but it will be taught in the data science course, right?
Yeah, in data science course, SQL will be taught. Yeah. But in
Okay.
Python course, we will be teaching only very basic SQL commands like how to connect to a database, how to create tables, how to read from the tables, how to write, how to modify. Like majorly, we'll be focusing like because in database also, right? People are there in the market who are using like IBM DB2, right? Oracle, and then MySQL, NoSQL, other. So there are different technologies in database also. All these technologies are capable of connect to Python. So our focus will be how if any one of you is working with SQL, if any of one of you is working with Oracle or IBM DB2, how these three people who are working with different database technologies will connect to Python. So I will be teaching a generic way of connecting to Python by using any of these database modules and write SQL queries for them.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So does it answer your question? What you are
Yeah,
asking?
yeah, yeah. Completely, completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let me, means other people, if you have any doubt with the course which we have discussed, you can definitely ask me. Meanwhile, I will read the introduction which came from Sneha. So I am Sneha Nangare. I have completed MSc in Computer Science in 2013. That is 7 years back. MSc. Okay. I have 1 year experience in DA department. So from DA, I am assuming it's data analyst or data analyst department as consultant. I also have knowledge of Java. Currently, I am a housewife, but from last 1 year, I'm learning Python by myself. We will 3 to 4 projects. Oh, great to know that. I want to start my career as Python developer. I am comfortable with both the languages. Great to know that, Sneha. It is very good to know that you are learning Python by your own already, and you have done multiple projects also. It will be very good for us, to have people like you in the batch because now, as you have mentioned this, I will be expecting most of the doubts from you, right? So I will say to everyone in the batch, please feel free to ask doubts, right? The more interactive you will be, the more lengthy will be this batch, the more lengthy will be our learning. I can finish the classes as soon as possible if you're not asking any doubts, right? The moment you start asking doubt, the batch become lengthy because I have been associated with classes where the Python batch went for 30 to 31 classes also, where I target to close it on 25th batch or 25th class, right? So it has went for 30 or 31 classes also because of the doubts which was keep coming on, right? So if you also do the same, your batch also will be benefited like that. So there is no hard and fast rule that on this day I have to end the batch or something like that, right? It is very flexible, but it depends on you if you're asking doubt or not. So good to know that, Sneha. Uh, Snehal, but Gujar, I am Snehal, completed my bachelor in 2012, that is 8 years again, and master's in 2014. Great. Uh, I worked with Seagull Institute as an assistant professor with 6 years of experience. Currently, I'm off working, looking in industrial job. I'm comfortable in English and Hindi. Okay. I want to learn both data science and Python to get into IT field. So that's a definition for IT industry. Yeah, sure, Snehal. We can definitely consider you as a fresher, but definitely your past 6 year of teaching experience will be useful when you are entering IT industry. I tell it to everyone. Whatever is your past experience does not matter. That will be getting counted whenever you go for any interview or job or opportunity, right? But again, this is the third batch where I have teachers as a student in my batch. So that somehow make me a little conscious, right? Because now there will be someone in the batch who will be judging with my teaching techniques also, right? So you also have a 6 year of teaching experience. Good to know that. The in my past two batches also, I have people from Pune University, and there was someone from the Balaji University or something like that, or Balaji or Bajaj University. I'm not sure. There is some university in or college in Wakad area. There were people from there also. So good to know that, Snehal. Okay, so let's talk about this is all about introduction. This is what course also we have discussed what we'll be covering now. I will be telling you what and all you have to install. Okay, so let me share my screen again with you. So people who are already working with data science and other technologies, you will not be facing any problem to install the software. But yes, people who are new to programming languages, they will be facing some problem with the installation. Feel free to post your doubts anytime. You can do it parallelly with me also, or you can do it after the session also, because everything is getting recorded and this video will be uploaded, or whatever we have discussed till now is getting recorded and will be uploaded into LMS. Okay. LMS, when I say, it's a learning management system. We will be using Google Classroom for that. So everything will be uploaded there. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to take notes. You don't have to record something from your personal phone or something like that. Everything is recorded and will be shared with you, and it will be available with you for lifetime. It will not be getting deleted from there. So do not make unnecessary efforts of copying something or recording something by your own, right? That is taken care already. It will be shared with you. Now, so the first thing which we have to install is Python. Okay. So everything we will be doing in our Python or data science learning, everything, whatever we learn, whatever we download, whatever we refer to will be the original websites. We will never be referring to any third party websites. Okay, so even from the download and even from the reference. So we will be downloading Python from Python.org. So you simply search Python.org in Google. The first website which will be coming is python.org, right? Okay, so I'm going little slow for my first and second class. From third or fourth class, it will be fast-paced learning. So get used to it. Now here, if you see, as this is a open source language, right? You have multiple things to be downloaded. You can see all the releases which Python has delivered till today. You can see the source code of the Python language, which will be in the C language. Um, and then there are some specific downloads for Windows. There are some specific download for Mac OS and other platforms. So people who are using Mac OS, you might not need to download anything. If you're using a old Mac Hook or Mac OS, you will be having Python 2 already installed in your machine. But we will be working with Python 3. So people who are using Windows, they can directly follow the instruction which I am saying to you. If there is someone who is using Mac OS, then that person have to check in your machine. I will tell you how to check that. Um, Python 2 or Python 3 will be already installed in your machine. Okay. So for people who are using Windows, you have to come in this place, okay, and download for Windows. This automatically detects also. Like if you see, even if I'm going to any of the other place, it already detected that I am using a Windows machine, so it is telling me this. Okay, you have to click on this one. I already have downloaded it, so I will not be downloading it once again. I am on a older version of Python, but you can use the latest version of it. So 3.9.1 is what you will download from here. Once you download it, it is a normal installation. You just have to install. Let me download it. Depends on your internet connection. It can take some minutes also. So once you have this downloadable, right? So this is the executable file. You just have to double click and run it. Okay. As any other software you install in your machine, you have to install this. So what it is bringing in your machine? It's a programming language, right? Python is a programming language, so it is bringing all the source which is required for you to do programming on Python. It will be bringing the compiler code and all, right? So getting some chat. Just one second. The chat window is not opening. Just give me a second. Yeah, so there is someone who is asking about, can we install it in Linux OS and do practice? Yes, Piyush. Yes. You can install it on Linux OS also. So there's my if you see the downloads options, right? For other platforms also you have options like Python for AIX. AIX is a IBM, uh, you can say IBM's version of Unix, right? And you have for other alternate packages for Linux. But see, in Linux also, yes, you can download it, you can install it there, and you can work with that. And everything, all the execution. So there are people who will be normally asking me for if the execution will differ in Mac OS, Linux, or Windows. Let me tell you very frankly, whatever code I am writing or you are writing, right, it will work similarly in every environment. If you're getting output in Windows and you're not getting in Linux, your setup is having problem. Your code is not having problem. Okay, because in past batches, people normally ask that I have done with my coding. It is working fine in Windows, but it is not working fine in Linux or Mac OS. So there will be something wrong in my code. No, it is not like that. Every single Python program runs very similarly in all the platforms. Okay, if something is not working in multiple platform for you, your setup will need to be corrected. Okay, so I understand like most of the people will be working with Windows. So whatever steps I'm showing, it will be on Windows only. But yes, if you face any problem with Linux or Mac OS, you have to tell me, right? I will make you the host and you can share your screen and then we can see that how you can work with that platform. Okay, so let me show you what will be the downloadable, how it looks. So this is something, a executable file will be downloading in your machine. You have to install it as any other software, right? And that's all. That's all. Means that Python is installed in your machine. So this is the one thing which we need to install. Okay. Now, once this installation is done, how I will check that my installation is done correctly or not? Okay. So you have to go into command prompt. Okay. And then you have to write here Python Python capital V. It will tell you which version of Python is installed in your machine. Okay, after installation, this will be happening. If you're doing it parallelly, that's why I'm going a little slow. Okay, if you want to do it after the class also, that's fine because you will be having complete day to do that. And then again tomorrow, the first thing I will be asking you is you have any problem with your setup. People who are using company laptop, you may have restriction in downloading the software and installing it. Then you have to raise a request to your IT department that you want Python installed into your machine. Okay, that you have to sort it out with your company if you're using a company laptop to learn from us. Okay, now some people may get problem after you write Python command here. It may be telling you that Python is not a recognized command. Okay? That happens in most of the machines. That will be happening. Okay, so what you have to do in that case, you have to go into start menu, search for environment variables. So people who already know how to set environment variables, I will simply say in one line for you, wherever your Python is installed, you have to set up the environment variable. People who are new to environment variable, I will tell you step by step. Okay. So first of all, you have to search where your Python is installed. So I will say that Python. Okay. I'll see where my Python is installed. So my Python is installed in this location. Okay. So I'll copy this location as it is. Okay. So what is happening? Wherever my Python is installed, I am copying that location. Why I am doing this? If only if your python -v is telling you that Python is not a recognized command. It means your machine has installed Python in it, but it is not able to recognize that language or the commands which is associated with it, right? In that case, we have to set up the environment variable. So for that, we have to first find out where my Python executable file is installed. So I have to copy this location. Okay. After that, I will go to environment variables. Now, there are two options in environment variables, right? When you click on environment variable, there will be a system variable, there will be a user variable. Okay. I will suggest you make the change in the system variable itself. What you have to do, you have to find the path here, right? And so you have to find for path. It will be written in small letters, capital PATH path. Select that, click on the edit, and then you have option to add and remove here, right? If you see for me, uh, let me see where is my Python associated here. So for me, actually, I am using the conda version of Python, so it is not here for now. Yeah, fine. So what you have to do, you have to come here, you have to add a new one. In new one, you have to paste the location which you have copied. Okay. You can paste the location till this. You can remove the python.exe from there also. If you keep also, there is no problem with that. If you remove it, there is no problem with that also. So this way you have to add the environment variable and you have to click OK and this is set, right? And what you have to do after that, you have to reopen the command prompt and type for Python hyphen capital V. It will tell you the which version of Python is there in your machine. This is, I'm telling you for the steps, this is not very important for our learning. Why? Why? Because once you have installed Python in your machine, there will be a shell prompt which will be automatically getting installed in your machine, and that is named as ideally. Ideally, okay. You go into Start menu after installing Python in your machine. You go to Start menu. You search for ideally. This is by default installed with Python package. Okay, so this is a shell prompt, or it is like a command prompt of Python. When you open that, whatever you write here will be directly getting executed in whatever version of Python you have in your machine. So if you can see that there are multiple version of Python in my machine also. Here, if you see, it is saying 3.7.6. Here it is saying 3.8.3. There is nothing wrong with it. So this ideally is opening Python from. I will draw something and explain you that how these things work. But before that, let's understand this first. So Python 3.8.3 is the Python version which I have installed in my machine. This 3.7.6 is something which I have set up in the environment variable. Okay. So if your environment is not able to detect 3.7 or anything, then also it is fine, because when you open ideally, whatever code we will be writing here, it will be working directly fine. So even if your machine is not able to detect it, this shell prompt will be able to detect it. Okay. Now, people who are using Windows 7, right? You will be facing a lot of problems. Windows 7, Python 3.5 and above is not very easy to install in Windows 7. You have to Google a lot of things. You have to see a lot of YouTube videos. A lot of machine level changes need to be done in your machine to make Python 3 running in Python 3.5 and above running in your machine. Okay. So people who are using old version of Windows, I will suggest you can go for Python 3.3 or something like that. Use something below 3.5. Okay. How you can get those versions of Python? You can go into all releases. Okay. You will see older version of Python here. Okay. So you can use older version of Python from here and you can download that. Definitely do not use 2.7 or something like that. Use 3.3 and something in that series. This is only for people who are using Windows 7. People who are using Windows 7, you will get a lot of errors while working with Python 3.5 and above. Okay, so that is one suggestion for you guys. Let me come back here. Yeah, so ideally is this should be running in your machine. Okay, because for our next 3 to 4 classes, we will be using ideally only, because I will be teaching you the fundamentals of Python. I will not be using any heavy application to teach you that, right? Because I am here to teach you a language. I don't want to teach you some fancy IDE or something like that. So the basics of Python will be all completed in IDE only. And this shell prompt only we'll be using for our basic learning. Okay. So in after tomorrow's class, right? I want everyone's machine should be able to run this. Ideally should be running in everyone's machine. Okay, fine. So this is all about Python installation. Now, the next thing which we have to install, I am telling you all the installable in the first class itself, so that I will not take much time in our next classes when it comes to use pycharm and anaconda, right? So I'm telling you all the installation right now. So the next thing which you have to install is pycharm. So when you search for PyCharm download or anything like that in Google, you will be getting a website with name JetBrains. I'll take a pause here. Can anyone please confirm if you are still able to see my screen and listen me properly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So there is something on the
Yes.
chat. Just give me a second. There's something on the chat. The chat window is not opening very quickly today. Yeah, now it's open. Uh, Harshita is asking, sir, which open source would be better, Jupyter Notebook or Notebook or Python? So Harshita, yeah, wait for a few more minutes. I will be answering that for you. Okay. So first of all, which open source will be better, Jupyter Notebook or Python? So there is a difference actually. Jupyter Notebook is a tool which helps you to write the Python code, and Python it's a language itself, right? So when you install Jupyter Notebook, okay, Python PyCharm. Sorry, Harshita. Right. So Harshita, actually, in this course, we will be using 3 tools. Right. The first tool will be ideally, which I am showing on the screen right now. Right. The second tool will be PyCharm. The third tool will be Jupyter Notebook. So in this course, we will be using all these 3 tools, because after this course, there are many people who will be going for backend development, and those people will be using PyCharm for their day-to-day activities. So I have to make them comfortable with PyCharm also. There will be few people who will be going for data science course. So I have to make them comfortable with the Jupyter Notebook also. So this course, you will be learning all these 3 tools. So the first 4 to 5 days, we will be working only with the shell prompt. Then we will be moving toward Jupyter Notebook. Then third, we will be moving toward PyCharm. So all these 3 tools will be getting used. Okay. Yeah. So let me go back to other installation. So PyCharm is the next installation you have to do. Um, when you search, there will be a website with name JetBrains. Open that website. Now there are multiple options to download it. Okay, I'll suggest you go to the end of this. Oh, the website has been changed a little bit. Because earlier they used to ask, you want to download the community version or you want to download the enterprise version. So there are two types of PyCharm available in the market. One is enterprise and one is community edition. Right? If you see here, full-fledged professional for or free community. This is what we have to download. Do not download PyCharm for enterprises. PyCharm gives you 2 versions. One is free for community, that is what we have to use. The second is for enterprises, which is a paid version. If you download that one, it will be working fine only for the 30 days. After that, you have to install it again. But if you download the community version, it will be working fine for lifetime. Okay, it is free of cost. So I will suggest you download this for the community edition. Simply, I will not be showing you that how this window open and all, because we will not be using pycharm for our next classes. We will be using it only after the fundamentals are covered, right? So you download this application as you download any other application is in your laptop. Download it, install it, and then just leave it there. Install it and leave it there. Do not try to open it or play with it. It's on you. If you want to do it, that's fine. But we will not be using it for next coming classes, so that's not required. Just download and install it. Okay. So this is the second tool we will be using. The third tool which we will be using is Jupyter Notebook. But for that, you have to go for Anaconda download. Okay. When you go for Anaconda download, as I told you that we will not be using any third-party website to download these tools or whatever is required, right? We will be using all the original websites only. So anaconda.com or Anaconda individual edition, these two things will come into picture, right? You can directly go to this link. So the name itself is suggesting you that it is your data science toolkit, right? It will be giving you actually Jupyter Notebook is part of Anaconda installation, and we will be using Jupyter Notebook in the second phase of our learning. So you have to install this, download this Anaconda and install. Now, people who are using machine with 4 GB of RAM, people who are using machine with 4 GB of RAM, if you run PyCharm and Anaconda together, your machine can hang. Okay, so I will suggest if you're using Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, and PyCharm together, use it one by one. Do not get in a phase where your machine start hanging, right? Because 4 GB RAM is not mm, enough for running both the tools together, right? So yeah, but download this and install it, keep it installed when we start using a Jupyter Notebook. So I will show you how it looks after installing it. Anaconda will be a problematic installation for many people, I'm telling you, right? So when you install it, it asks you, you want to set up, let me, yeah, Anukriti, we have to download PyCharm for the community option only. Yeah. So yeah, let me, so this is your machine or this is your laptop or anything, right? So when you install, what three things we are installing? Python, PyCharm, and Anaconda. Okay. When you install Python, you will be getting that 3.9.1 version with it, right? So the Python executable, like .exe of Python, is coming with this Python installation, right? When you install PyCharm, it is not bringing any Python executable with it. It is not bringing any Python executable with it. Everyone, if you are installing software in your machine right now, I will say, please stop that. Concentrate on this window right now, which I am sharing the whiteboard, because this is important to understand. Okay. Otherwise you will face problem later on. So because of this, when you install Python, it is coming with .exe executable. There is a requirement to work with the environment variable also, right? Which I have explained you already. When you install PyCharm, it is not coming with any Python executable. It will be using your machines, it will be installed on your machine, it will be using your machine's Python executable only, which is already installed by you. So it will be using 3.9.1 only. Now, why I am explaining all this to you? Because, just give me a second. Yeah, because when you install Anaconda, right, it comes with Conda executable. The Conda executable will get here, right? It will be also coming with a Python executable. In my machine, you have seen, right? I have 3.7.6. That is because of Anaconda. So there will be two versions of Python installed in your machine. One is coming with the normal Python installation. The second will be coming with the Conda. Okay, now what is the difference actually? The Conda is actually uh, it's a wrapper, right? Internally, it is having the Python executable only, but with Python executable, it brings you multiple more packages, right? What are those packages? You will understand when we learn advanced Python, right? We talk about operate OS module and other modules, right? At that time, I will be explaining you this, the difference between the packages available with Conda and not available with Python, right? So it is not like you cannot achieve all these things with Python. It both the ways it is possible, but by default, Anaconda is coming with a Conda executable, right? And that will be installing Python with more modules already available here, right? In Python, you have to import those modules. In here, you have to import those modules by your own explicitly. Here, it is coming by default with your Python executable, right? So this is very important for you to understand, because this I am telling you because people after learning 15, 16 days of classes of Python, they ask this question to me that we are not able to understand why there are two different versions of Python is in my machine, right? So I am answering that in advance for you so that you do not get into that situation, right? So there will be two different versions of Python in your machine. And if you are using MacBook, right, then there will be three different versions of Python machine, because Mac comes with Python 2 and Python 3 by default. So 2.7 something will be also available in MacBook. For Windows, you will be having these two versions. Fine. So I will take a pause here if you have any doubt in this, or I am getting some chat also. So Govind, Anaconda 32-bit will be okay. That question is valid, but it depends on your machine. So I will show you the machine configuration, how to check that in a minute now. So it depends on your machine. If your machine is 32-bit, you go for 32-bit. If your machine is 64-bit, go for 64-bit. Okay, depends on your machine configuration. So guys, you have any doubt with this setup understanding, that what and all we will be installing and how it will be looking?
How do I check if if the Anaconda is installed? Because I'm trying to install it, but it seems I had done that previously, and it's saying that this Anaconda 3 is not empty, the folder basically.
Okay,
So I think the package is
yeah. So once I close this whiteboard, I will show you how to check if Anaconda is installed. So I'm just waiting if anyone want to ask any doubt on this. This I do normally multiple times. I take a 30 or 40 seconds of pause and I wait for people to ask doubt. So if there is no one asking, then I will go ahead. No, Anukriti. Just make sure that you are above 3.5. That will be enough, because there are multiple things changed in 3.9. So what will be happening? See, I will be using 3.7 and 3.8 for teaching, right? And multiple people in the batch, they will be using 3.9. So what will happen? Sometimes I think for one program or two program, what is running in my machine will not be running in their machine. Then they will understand what is the difference between 3.9 and 3.8, because there are some modules which are deprecated in 3.9. So anything above 3.7 or anything above 3.5, I'm good with it. That's completely fine. Any version of Python is fine. Yeah, that will work. So Snehal is saying yes. I got an error. Python is not defined. So yeah, yes, Snehal. That is a problem of environment variable. Okay, so I will close my whiteboard now. There's no doubt on this actually. Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I have a doubt here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, since I'm using MacBook Air,
Mm-hmm.
so do I have to follow the same procedure, or is there anything which I need to Google?
No, you have to follow the same process because in this also Anaconda installation also, right? I will show you that in the bottom of it you will see Anaconda installer is available for all the platform. I was about to come here, right? But before that I started explaining other things.
Okay. So like for I think I was looking for the Python in MacBook, but I think
Mhm.
I found something which says Python 2.7, but I'm not able to run the command prompt and stuff. So I think I'll need to install it, right? Maybe
No,
install 3 point.
no. One second, one second. What you're not able to run?
Like the way you do it on this thing, the
Yes, yes.
CMD.
So you what you have to do, you have to in MacBook you have to write Python 3 hyphen capital V.
Okay.
Yeah. In Windows it is Python. In MacBook you have to write Python 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens because in MacBook it by default comes with Python 2 installed in it, right? So to differentiate between two different versions of Python, you have to write commands like Python 2 whenever you want to work with Python 2, right? Hyphen capital V. These two things will be working differently in MacBook. So, but you don't have to
Okay.
worry because very less we will be working with command prompt, right?
Okay.
So you just check if you are able to open ideally, and if you're open to able to open pycharm and anaconda. These two things are fine. And also if you're not able to open ideally, right, what I will suggest, just type python 3, right, and then this thing will be coming here. These three arrows will be coming in your machine. If that is coming, we are good. So what happen if your ideally is not opening in your machine, you can practice here in this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Anand. Yes, yes. Means, yeah, even I will close the session in next 2-3 minutes. Okay. So yeah, guys. So this is all about installation. For Anaconda installation, I'm simply sharing the place from where you can download now. Let's continue tomorrow, like about how if Anaconda is installed, how to check Anaconda is installed or not, how to open Jupyter Notebook, all those things we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay. Also, there is one online portal, online terminal where you do not have to install anything at all, right? Google gives you 12 GB of RAM and 120 GB of space to do Python programming free of cost. That is online, where you do not have to install anything at all, right? So, but yes, that is only for those people who will not be able to install these softwares in their machine. That is a workaround, which I will tell you in the very beginning of the session itself. But yes, we do not use that very frequently. That is only for those people whose laptop is very outdated or old, you know. For them we will be using that. So that's all, guys. That's all for today. Let's continue with the installation part tomorrow also. So these first two classes, we a little slow. It may be boring for some people who already have installed all these things in their machine. But yeah, you have to understand there are freshers in our batch. There are people with career gap. There are people with non-IT background. So we have to take care of everyone, right? So we have to go in a speed where I help everyone with the installation also. So that's all for today. Let's start with Anaconda installation and understanding from tomorrow. And that's all. That's all, guys, for today. And I'll stop sharing now. So if you have any doubt, I will be here for next 2 to 3 minutes, or else we will be meeting tomorrow 8 o'clock. Yeah, Gaurav.
Sorry. I asked my question already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Shweta.
Ankit.
Yeah, thank you, Bhupesh. So, Shweta, for recording class, see, as the batch has just started, the admin will be creating a Google Classroom for all of you, and they will be sharing the ID in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so you have to join that Google Classroom, and in tomorrow's class, I will be telling you how to join Google Classroom, how to find the recordings and all. So gradually you will have access to all the things, but I am also waiting for admin to create the classroom. Actually, it is their job, it is their activity. They create the Google Classroom, and then I start uploading the videos and content there. Okay, so it will be done in 2 or 3 classes. It will be started. You will have access to all the videos, and after that, every day after 30 or 40 minutes of the class, you will have the videos in hand. Okay, any other doubts? Okay, guys, then I will end the session for today. Thank you everyone for joining. Have a great day ahead. Let's meet tomorrow morning. Bye bye.